can't tell you the entire story of what happened that night because the type of violence that occurred was so appalling, and it lasted for at least 3 hours. And as you say, don't forget, these girls were just children, just 13 and 14 years old at the time. Now they're a year older. A few moments ago they left the courtroom sobbing. The eldest girl, as you say, admitted manslaughter. She always denied murder because she said that it was her younger friend who egged her on, and she didn't believe that a person could die from being assaulted. The younger girl always denied being responsible. The jury, though, after just 3 hours today, decided that they didn't believe those girls' accounts. They believed they were jointly responsible for the murder of this 39-year-old woman. A vulnerable woman struggling with alcohol addiction. Angela Wrightson had many teenage visitors. She bought them alcohol because she'd get some in return. False friendships that brought her life to the most horrific end. Beyond this tent, a scene that paramedics described as a bomb site. Blood and broken furniture was spread across the room. When Angela Wrightson's beaten body was found here, she was wearing nothing but a T-shirt, a humiliation which may have occurred after she was dead. There were over 100 injuries to her body, and several items were used: a stick with screws in it, a shovel and a television set. The violence lasted for at least 3 hours, and the girls appeared to be enjoying it. Instead of using their phone to call an ambulance, the 13 and 14-year-olds used it to take this selfie with Angela Wrightson during the attack. Their smiling faces have had to be disguised. By the time the girls had finished, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. They found themselves here and couldn't get a taxi home. So they called the police and asked for a lift. Giggling in the back of the police van, the girls, who were in care, photographed themselves once again.
I've never come across a crime that's been as terrible as this. I can't imagine that any of my officers have, and the girls just don't seem to understand that. They've never shown any remorse, and hopefully one day they will. Here in Hartlepool, friends and neighbours still talk about how vulnerable Angela Wrightson was.
I mean, everybody knew her. She was a part of the bricks and mortar fixing and fittings. I went round her house a few times and just sat with her, had a drink, had a chat with her. She was, especially in the street where she lived, everybody knew in the street, and everybody sort of like looked out for her because they knew she was vulnerable.
I mean, it was awful, really. You can't imagine 2 young girls doing that to another human being.
The court heard that Angela Wrightson pleaded for her life that night. Only the girls themselves will know why they chose not to listen. Fiona Trott, BBC News, Leeds. Now, both of those girls were in care. The older girl was living in a residential home and the younger girl was with a foster family. We also heard that the older girl attempted suicide 3 times during this trial. When the court asked her what her date of birth was, she said she didn't even know what that was. Cleveland Police have told us that a serious case review is due to be carried out, and these girls will be sentenced at a later date.